Good evening to all of you, and thank you for joining us on 13 Plus. I'm Mary Coleman. Well, if you're looking to repair your credit, beware of people wanting to take advantage of you. As our national investigative team discovered, credit repair scams are on the rise. And the increase in financial scams doesn't just stop there. The federal government is warning people about scammers trying to take advantage of student loan borrowers and people looking for debt relief. Consumer investigator Carice Jackman found more on what to look out for and how to protect that information of yours.
It's a sinking feeling many people have experienced, the overwhelming weight of credit card debt.
According to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, in 2023, credit card debt reached $1 trillion. Along with that debt, a recent survey found 63% of Americans don't expect their finances to improve in 2024, and 26% expect their finances to get worse. In order to tackle your credit card debt, some turn to debt consolidators or a relief program.
Consumer investigator Rachel DePompa spoke to experts who warn about an uptick in scams.
Plus, we show you how to be your own investigator to avoid a sham credit repair service.
I like a visual, so I keep a spreadsheet. I've not historically been great at financial matters, which is why I got into debt.
Isabel Patterson
I track all of my open accounts.
is now an expert at keeping tabs on where every dollar goes.
Every open bill that I have.
But it didn't start out that way.
The way that I struggle with money is just credit cards are not a friend.
She learned that after she racked up more than $25,000 in credit card debt. And Patterson is not embarrassed. In fact, she says more of us need to talk about our financial mistakes.
You just need to normalize that it's okay to talk about making better financial decisions for yourself.
2 years ago, Patterson turned to a nonprofit credit counseling service. She's now just a few months away from paying off all her creditors.
How does that feel?
Amazing.
But not everyone has a positive experience like Patterson, especially right now with millions of Americans drowning in debt. Multiple government agencies and the BBB are warning consumers to be careful when reaching out to the debt relief industry.
A new report by the Better Business Bureau finds some companies fail to deliver on big promises. The BBB warning about a pattern of misleading and sometimes fraudulent claims, with consumers making more than 11,000 complaints. Last year, the FTC went after 7 companies, from an alleged student loan debt relief scammer and phony debt service robocalls to a bogus credit repair scheme.
Do you all worry about scammers?
Oh, yeah, I get calls all day long from folks that have like, I got a phone call from this agency and they want to help me with my debt.
Marla Puckett is a certified credit counselor with Money Management International, the place Isabel Patterson turned to for help.
We've had a 45% increase of clients coming to us from this point last year.
Our national investigative team analyzed hundreds of cases against debt relief companies and found since 2005, the FTC's banned more than 400 companies and individuals from assisting with any form of debt relief. The data shows nationwide more than 500,000 consumers were affected by those banned companies, the federal government returning more than $41 million in stolen money. Puckett says a lot of people filing complaints about the debt relief industry ended up using a for-profit company.
They do the dispute, it drops off the credit report. 6 months later, it magically appears back on the credit report. And then you're right back where you started with less money in your pocket because you paid this organization to do that for you.
She says if a company asks you to stop paying your bills, that's a red flag. If they ask you for a large fee up front, red flag number 2.
The payment may seem lower than what you would get from, a credit counseling nonprofit, but their fees are substantially higher.
If the debt relief agency reaches out to you, that should be a warning. Ted Rossman, an analyst with Bankrate, also warns about for-profit debt relief companies.
I hear those ads too about, hey, do you want to get out of credit card debt for pennies on the dollar? It sounds tempting, but because of the credit score damage, it may not be worth it.
He says be careful about groups offering debt relief or debt settlement, asking you to stop paying, hurting your credit while they try to negotiate with the creditor. Get online to look up any debt relief group you are thinking of signing up with and see what people are saying. To make sure you're looking at a legitimate company, watch for typos, very few followers, and non-professional email addresses. For Isabel Patterson, credit counseling was a life changer.
How has this helped you?
Mentally, it's taken a lot of load off. It's helped me understand my own spending habits.
And thanks to spreadsheets, counseling, and sticking positive notes on her wall to keep her going, she now has a clear vision of her debt-free future.
If you think you've fallen victim to a phony credit repair company, you can file a complaint with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Just head to consumerfinance.gov/complaint.
People with student loans are trying to pay down their balances or work out a payment plan. But scammers are paying close attention, looking for ways to get their money and personal information.
They're using social media. They're listening to the news cast that are talking about, student loans, and people are, dealing with their debts. And they're trying to take advantage of these things.
Jason Williams is the Assistant Inspector General for Investigations with the U.S. Department of Education. He says some of the most common tactics fraudsters employ are unsolicited text messages, emails, telephone calls, even direct mail through the post office.
And what they're trying to do is they're trying to, get you to provide your information, especially for a fee, which, the Department of Education Office of Federal Student Aid will never charge you a fee to use their services.
Williams says they've noticed an uptick in student loan forgiveness and debt relief scam complaints since 2022. It's why they're working hard to alert the public.
Had some really successful investigative activity. One of the cases that we just finished up is in California, where, a company that was posing that they were loosely affiliated with the Department of Education was saying that they could help borrowers, reduce or, get rid of their loans. And that simply wasn't true. They were charging a fee to these people up to $1,300. And what they were doing was they were logging into people's accounts, sharing their FSA ID, which you're absolutely never to do, and, using that information for their own means. And a lot of people, unfortunately, missed student loan payments. They had, interest added to their account, and also some people defaulted on their loans.
The fraudsters eventually received prison time, and hundreds of dollars in restitution were given out to those victims. If you think you've fallen victim to any student loan or debt forgiveness scam, Williams says immediately reach out to your servicer at the Office of Federal Student Aid at studentaid.gov. The Office of Inspector General also has a hotline that operates 24 hours a day. More than anything, Williams encourages you to speak up and report. With this Watching Your Wallet, I'm Carice Jackman.
Now, Williams also says be wary of spoofed social media accounts and avoid providing any information on social media. Before we go, we want to give you a live look from our Mount Bigelow cam where that sunset is looking absolutely gorgeous. We hope you're having a great week, and will join us for our news on 13 News Live at 10 for more of your weather and news headlines.